Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mortuary. I am the Mortician, and today I want to talk about A Quiet Place. Before we get into this, there are going to be spoilers, so if you don't want it to be spoiled, skip this. So let's talk about the opening scene. The opening scene basically is this kid running around this drugstore or whatever, absolutely empty, barren. There's like cans all over the floor, carts that are like just left there. You see this person, this woman, giving medication to one of her kids, and I'm guessing he has malaria. So this kid's running around and he finds a toy rocket. So he runs off and he comes back with batteries in the thing. The dad takes it off him, removes the batteries, puts them on the counter. And he explains to him that they have to be quiet. And he's all using sign language, which is one of the cooler things about this film, in my opinion. I really like that it's in sign language. Big sister takes a toy off the counter, gives it to him. He steals the batteries. He's running off. They go off, and they come to a bridge, and he puts the batteries in right at the end of this bridge, and the thing lights up and he presses the button or whatever, and this fucking thing goes off, and the dad's trying to run to catch him in slow-mo, super cheesy by the way, and fucking this thing comes out from the woods and just whacks him, just murders the shit out of this kid. So basically, this is a good way to set up the world, because now we're under the impression, if the newspapers in the beginning didn't tell you, you didn't pick up on the newspapers, that noise will attract these things. And I think, once again, it's a cool concept. I don't know if it's ever been done before, but if it hasn't, that's a shame, because this is a really cool concept. But I have to say, I couldn't help but to laugh. I could not help but to laugh when this kid got it. Because, it was just so fucking stupid. It was so dumb. I get it that he was, super young or whatever, but I just couldn't handle how fucking dumb of an idea that was. His dad literally explains to him why he has to be quiet, and he does it anyway. And it's just it's... I don't want to say it's but it is. It's funny. To me, I laughed. Other people might not have laughed. I laughed. So anyway, we proceed with the stuff. He's been dead for whatever. There are actually slides that tell you it's day 48 or 87. And he takes his son to the river. And this is an important part in the movie, because it really solidifies, its stupidity kind of. So basically they're at the river, and the dad's, caught a fish in one of the traps he has. He puts on the rock, and the kid stops him. And he's like, no, it'll attract them. And he's trying to explain to him that as long as the noise is quieter than the loudest noise around, then you'll be fine. So this is a stupid idea, because they go to a waterfall, and the sound of normal talking will anger these things and have them attack you. But they go to this fucking waterfall flowing with water, and they scream into it. So they're yelling into this waterfall that is supposedly super mega loud. And I don't understand why these things haven't attacked the waterfall. Are they just a little bit smarter, or do they just steer clear of it? Because they live on a farm, so why wouldn't they just stick next to the waterfall or near the waterfall? It just seems like a better idea to me. So that's another thing that I don't really like. And there's a huge problem with stupidity in this movie. So on the way back from this fucking river and waterfall, they come across this dude, and the dude, I guess, finds his wife dead or whatever. They killed her, and he's trying not to scream, but he makes these stupid fucking faces, and of course he fucking screams. One of the biggest things I hated with a passion in this movie were the jump scares. I hate jump scares for so many reasons. I think they're cheap. I think they're shitty most of the time. Most of the time, I'm I can see it coming, and that's what happens throughout this entire movie. It's gonna happen, but the movie is so quiet. There's practically no music. There's no talking, and there's hardly any background noise. So imagine when you have it's 0 decibels. It's quiet as fuck. And you know how loud a theater is? So imagine going from like quiet as fuck to the loudness of a concert. Because during the trailers, I turned to my friend and I was like, does this not seem loud, like as loud as the concert we went to? And I believe he agreed with me, but it just seems so fucking stupid to have these, this huge portion of like nothing and then bam. And it got me to jump. How could I fucking not? Even when I knew, oh, that's going to be a jump scare. And I just couldn't stop rolling my eyes. If I rolled them any more harder, they would probably detach from, my brain or whatever. It was so fucking stupid. Which sucks, because, like, there are a few fake jump scares. You know what I'm talking about. Like, there's these beavers that come, or, like, I think they're gophers, that come out of the house or whatever. They were making noise in the house to come down. And you know it's gonna happen. One of the claws, bam, smacks that fucking beaver and drags it into the cornfield. And even though I knew it was gonna happen, I still jumped just because of the sheer difference in volume. You couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Maybe other people are, immune to that, but I'm very sensitive when it comes to sound. So that goes on, and we have this fucking problem because things that shouldn't be jump scares are like they're playing Monopoly, and one of the kids knocks the lantern over, and it shouldn't make a big sound like glass breaking. It doesn't make normally glass breaking doesn't make too much noise. I'm not gonna say it's quiet as fuck, but it doesn't make the noise that it made in the theater. Like, it was definitely amplified to get a jump scare effect. I could totally tell. And that was so shitty. And that's how I feel. I feel like this entire movie, it had pretty good atmosphere. It has a good concept, the idea of like not being able to talk. But it just riddles it with jump scares, and it sucks for the very big reason that of course they're gonna do that, Like, it's so obvious, how could you not? But that's kind of why it seems it takes away from the intelligence of everything else going on. But speaking of intelligence, these fucking people are having a fucking baby. A fucking kid. They're having a thing that they cannot control whether it cries or not in this fucking world. And it blows my fucking mind. And there's this stupid fucking scene where she gets into the bathtub and she's fucking bleeding, and she's hiding in the shower from one of these monsters, and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be a jump scare. Yep, slaps her fucking hand on it. Like, loud, like it slaps her hand on it. I'm surprised none of these monsters hurt her. That's how loud of a noise it made. It was on par with the lantern and everything else. So it's just ridiculous. And that's really what ruins this. I wouldn't recommend seeing it in the theaters. I honestly wouldn't, because you have absolutely no control over that. So basically, you're gonna be, excuse me, why is my nose stuffy? But you're gonna be smacked over the head with these insanely loud fucking, or insanely huge difference in volumes, which drives me crazy in movies. You've probably seen it in like older films, or like the talking is like really quiet in older films, and then all of a sudden there's this big jump cut, and they're panning out to like a forest or whatever, and the score is just, like, hurts your fucking ears. That's kind of what happens with this movie, and it fucking sucks. I would recommend you wait to see this on DVD. If I had to give it a score, I feel confident scoring this. If I have to give it a score, I would probably give it like a 7. Honestly, there's a lot more things that I haven't discussed. There's a lot here that you can still see, so I would give it a 7. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's a pretty good movie, but that's pretty much it. There are so many huge flaws, especially that I saw in theaters. Once again, if you want to see this, just wait till it comes out on DVD. Trust me, it'll be a much better experience. So thank you guys for watching. Mortician, peace out.